Hey out there on YouTube land, this is Cappy from Always in Stitches in Noblesville, Indiana. Peter's behind the camera. Say hi, Peter.
Hi, everybody.
He's got the most incredible bag. Can we show him your bag, you think?
I could probably put a picture on there somehow.
Let's do that. He's been working with a company, and he'll have to give you the link to them, that they offer kits, great patterns, lovely bags. He has made the most stunning backpack. It's very, very cool. So kudos to Peter.
Thanks.
He's always behind the camera, but he's really actually, just like the rest of our staff, so talented. So
Thank you.
we're excited to have him. But I'm here to talk to you today about yarn and knitting. Holy camoles. There's not a lot of fabric has come in because it's the end of the year, and to keep our inventory numbers good for taxes, we don't get a lot of fabric in. The good news about that is January, we make up for what we didn't get in December. So hold on, if you don't see a lot of fabric in this YouTube video, come back next week because we'll cover that for sure. We've got lots of fabric. The tables back there in the back are full of boxes of fabric. So lots of fabric coming. But I thought this is a really good chance to focus a little bit on the knitting and the yarn department, because sometimes I feel like it's almost our little stepchild. We forget that there are so many of you out there that knit and crochet, and especially now it seems to just be taken off, and I'm excited about that. And I just want to give you some of the opportunities that we offer in our shop when it comes to those kind of things. First of all, I have to get my list because there's so many things. If you like to do yarn crawls, or if you like to be part of the experience of going from one store to the next, this is your year. We have got basically 2 events that are specifically designed for yarn. One is called February. It's January 30th through February 16th. And here's the cool part. So a lot of times when you go to these events, you have to go to a store specifically and buy a passport. Well, here's the passport. You don't pay for it. It's free. How cool is that? All you have to do is go to the February website and you download this form and print it. Now, I know it'd be really nice if I could just print it and give it to you, but I can't. The way this program works is you have to go to their website and print this passport, and then that gives you access to go to all the stores and get stamps. You can go to the stores whether you get stamps or not, but the opportunity to get stamps then gets you enrolled for prizes and fun things like that. So there's 3, 6, 9, 6, 18, looks like 18 shops involved in this. Central Indiana, kind of from Bloomington all the way up to Noblesville. So you've got a lot of space to cover. It starts January 30th in Fishers at the event center down there. And again, all this is on the website. We'll even give you a link on our website on how to get to it. But it starts in Fishers on a Friday, Saturday, where they're doing a yarn fest. And last year was the first year for this, and they did it at a site in the Noblesville Parks Department. And the crowd that showed up was overwhelming. It was more than the space could really hold. So they've got a whole new event center that they're doing it at this year, and I think it's a great idea. I expect it to be very well attended. And the good news is, if you can't print one of these for whatever reason, your printer doesn't work, you don't have access to internet, whatever, when you go to that fest, you can pick one up there. So you have 2 ways to get it. Go to the website and print it, or January 30th and February 1st, go to that event and pick one up there. Then that gets you a list of where everything's at and what you want to do. So February, January 30th through February 16th, you've got, almost 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks really, to go to all these stores and get your stamps. You get a stamp for visiting the store, and then if you spend $25 or more, you also get a stamp. And then those stamps depend how much prizes and things are given away and all that kind of stuff based on what you do. So go to the website, read all about that. That's one event for you knitters, crocheters, and all these stores. Let me just tell you the stores real quick. A Yarn Market, which is in Carmel. They've been open. I think they just celebrated their birthday.
Ooh.
I think they just did. But they're a wonderful shop. They've done great. They do really good kids classes and stuff. Really excited that they're part of our community of shops. Color Me Happy, that's kind of the originator of this program. They are the gals with the brainstorm behind it. So you want to see them. They're a yarn dyeing company, so they're interesting to work with. Knitting Romance in Ellettsville, Greenfield Maker in Greenfield, which is in Greenfield, Mass Ave Knit Shop. How long has Mass Ave been around? Forever. I mean, they were open when we opened 18 years ago, so I know they've been around a long time. Oma Knits Textiles in Broad Ripple. She's fairly new, but I've heard really good things. All these stores are really good stores. Rebel Pearl in Bloomington, new store, relatively new. Shabby Sheep and You is in Columbus. They've been around a little while. Tabby Tree Weaver. I'm so excited she's part of this. She's in Pendleton now. Not only do they have yarn, but they have roving. Peter's taken some classes over there. Tell us about Tabby Tree a little bit.
They teach weaving.
Yeah.
They have spinning fibers. They have weaving yarns on the cone. They sell looms. They have rigid heddle classes. They do tablet weaving classes. They do how to dye your warp for weaving classes. They have their beginning weaving class coming up in the end of January.
Yeah.
They have really good books too for weaving and spinning. I think she also, they sell also spinning stuff too. So like spinning fibers to spin, cotton to spin, merino wool from Poland, I believe, to spin. She's a fabulous dyer. So she dyes her own yarns on all different types of thicknesses that you can either knit with or weave with. So she does a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She'll also wind your warps for you. I think you can pay so much money per whatever, and then she can wind the warp. So if you don't like to wind your own warp, she'll wind it for you, which is really fabulous.
So if that sounds like Hebrew to you, call her or call and talk to Peter in here if you want to, or stop by and talk to Peter. But wonderful store. I love what I love about the list of all these stores is so much diversity. Weaving and dyeing has definitely taken up an uptick in the industry, and I'm glad Tabby Tree's involved with this because it's a great company to be participating and bring another element of fiber art to this program.
It's a must visit just because of her dyeing that she does. I like her sense of color and her bases that she dyes on. So it's definitely a great shop to visit.
Yeah.
They have beautiful stuff.
Right. And all these shops are great, but
And they have yarns that we don't carry.
right. Well,
And they're beautiful.
yeah, and that's the point. I think that's the point. And that, on a little tangent here, that's kind of what we're finding with that Big J store that closed. Y'all are looking for fibers. You're looking for products. And what's been cool is we've had so many customers come in who are brand new to us, and we love having you here, that are like, oh, I didn't know I could do this. I never saw this. I never saw that. And I think this February yarn crawl is a great opportunity to see shops that you're like, I didn't even know that hobby existed. Now, some of you, I had a lady this morning say, oh, I don't need one more hobby. I can barely keep up with what I've got. What I found, and Peter can speak to this too, the more hobbies you do, the more skills that you experience, the better you get at the one hobby that you like, because they definitely cross over. So anyway, Tabby Tree is a great place to go. Clay Pearl, that's in Nashville. Lovely shop. She's just adorable down there. The Knitting Otter is in Franklin. The Roving Kitten is in Martinsville. I'm not familiar with them. The Strand is in West Lafayette. Oh, it does go up to West Lafayette, so we aren't the farthest north. We're a little farther north than that. And then Village Yarn in Zionsville. They've been neighbors for many years. So anyway, that's this February event. If you're kind of just out there on YouTube going, gosh, I've been looking for a local yarn shop or a place where I can start doing fiber work, Central Indiana has some great options. I realize if you're watching us in Germany or Australia, that's a little far for you.
Or New Zealand.
Or New Zealand. Yeah, we've got our people in New Zealand. Talk about yarn. Hello. So we appreciate that this is a local event, but a lot of these shops are online. So if you go to that February website, you could maybe find these shops online and buy things online if you're not able to get things in your area. So don't undervalue that opportunity. But that's one really fun event, January 30th through February 16th. Put on your calendar. You want to go. All you got to do is go shop. You don't have to pay anything to get this piece of paper. So I think that's really fun. There may be an admission fee for the February event. I'll have to look that up. Just go to their website. It's all on there, everything you want to know. Okay, then the next event for those knitters and crafters is the Heartland Yarn Adventure, and that's July 24th through August 2nd. Now that's huge. It encompasses Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and I think part of Kentucky. There's like 85 shops involved in this. There's passports you do purchase for that. It's a little different setup. You don't have to go to all 85 shops, but it's a great roadmap to know what's out there. And again, that's in the summer. So this is perfect. You can plan, if you're a fiber arts kind of person and yarn person, you can have your January, February event, and in July and August you have another one to look forward to. So get your little group of people together and start planning that. The other thing that is going on here is knitting classes. I was just speaking with Janet this morning, our knitting instructor, and she has definitely seen more people coming in wanting to learn to knit. So I want to review those a little bit. We have knitting classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The Monday classes are the Learn to Knit. So if you're a new knitter, or maybe you haven't picked up knitting needles in a really long time and you're ready to learn or relearn or have that process refreshed in your brain, you need to come to that Monday class. If you've been knitting for a long time and you don't really need a lot of help, then the other class that would be better for you would be the Wednesday class or the Friday class. Those are called knit help classes. Those classes are designed for our more seasoned knitters who are in the middle of a project and are like, ugh, I can't figure out how to do it. For instance, I'm knitting socks. I knit socks for my daughter every year for Christmas. That's the only thing I knit. Much as I would love to knit all these beautiful things around here, I just knit a pair of socks. And it takes me all year to knit 2 socks. That's how much of a knitter I am. But my Kitchener stitch didn't turn out exactly perfect when I did the toe of my sock. And that would be a perfect opportunity for me to come in and sit down in that class with Janet and say, okay, show me the Kitchener stitch. Because I already have the experience of knitting. She's just helping me with my existing projects. So we want to try and segregate those classes a little bit, just because it's hard for a brand new knitter to walk in a room of people who can very efficiently knit all kinds of things, and it's intimidating. I mean, I don't want to sit down with somebody who I know can knit an entire sweater and get it done in less than a month when it takes me a year to do 2 socks. So you just need to think about where you would fit, which class would work for you. So Monday's beginner, kind of starting fresh, and Wednesday is the help classes, and Friday is help classes. And then, not to leave out crochet, because oh my gosh, crochet is over the top. Here's these little crochet creatures right here. Look how cute these are. These were some classes that were done here. Look how fun these are. Crochet is just taken off. I can't even tell you how much we see going on in the crochet world right now. Seems like everything we get, we've got little amigurumi. This is what really, I think, set it over the top. And look at these fruits and vegetables. So we are trying to provide you with so many things. Here's 40 plus creative crochet stitches right there. We have, and granny squares. Granny squares are taking off. Purses, sweaters. I just can't believe I see granny squares everywhere. Look, here's another one, granny square chic. Look at this sweater right here. Look at this dress. Is that adorable? Oh my gosh, I love it. So definitely crochet is taking off right now. We do have crochet classes with Kayla. They're on our website. She has a very basic beginning class. You just make a little square, and in that class she teaches you how to do that particular stitch. If you're a beginner, that's where you want to start, is in that stitch class, because it is the basic beginning class. Then she also teaches amigurumi. She's got a sweater class going. Lots of things happening there. If you don't see it yet, be patient with us. January, February are kind of notoriously our slower months in here, so we don't heavily pad our classes, because what we find is you guys aren't going to come. It's just that time of year we don't have as many people traveling around. So our class schedule is a little skinnier in January and February, but it'll start picking up along about March. Okay, then the other class I want to tell you about is a beginning sewing class for teens and tweens. We get this call all the time. I've got a 13-year-old or a 16-year-old or a 12-year-old that's ready to start sewing and using a sewing machine. So that's the teens and tweens. They're really much below 11 years old. We're not really comfortable bringing them in and putting them in this class, just because the machinery and the skill level, we like to have them a little older. So I think the minimum age on that is 11 or 12 years old. But it's a beginning sewing class. Julie is teaching it. She happens to be an elementary teacher, so she's excellent as an instructor in that class. I know we've had people take it and love it. So if you're interested in some quilting or learning to sew and how to operate a sewing machine, she does some basic projects. Wonderful, wonderful class. That's Julie's beginning sewing class for teens and tweens. And then also we have our long arm rental, which January is full. There's, I think, maybe 1 day left in January that if you want to rent our long arm machine. We had a lovely lady in here renting yesterday who had previously owned a machine and wanted to see if she still had the skills and if she was maybe ready to get back into a long arm machine. So she took the class, even though she already knew how to use a long arm machine, to test the machine, see what she thought of it, and to kind of refresh her skills. So when you see that long arm rental, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the first time you've ever rented a long arm machine. It might mean that that's just a chance for you to say, oh, I want to see if I want to buy one of these. Cool part is, if you take the class, which is a $125 class, that payment is applied to the purchase of a machine. So you're not out anything. And that's a fun class. It's with Jessica. She does an amazing job. She also teaches all our new owners how to operate their Handy Quilter machines when they buy a machine from us. So don't want to miss that chance. And then our retreat. So those of you who watch, Peter's nodding his head. January 1st, New Year's Day, we put live on our website the registration for our April retreat that's in Shipshewana. Now, previously we've done that in May, but they didn't have room in the inn, so we had to move the dates back to April, which actually I think is kind of, everybody's like, that works better for them, so I'm really glad we did it. But it's a 4-day retreat now, and there are about 25 spots left. And those will be gone, I feel sure, pretty quickly. So if you still want to make that Shipshewana retreat, which is in April, I want to say 16 through 19, don't miss that chance. It's a $99 fee, which is uber cheap. We do a pizza party. They're there for basically 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We start Thursday afternoon, we end Sunday afternoon, and you have a beautiful space and lots of fun people to work with. It's not just quilting. It's crochet, it's knitting, it's cross stitch, it's basket weaving, there's roving, there's people bring their spinning wheels. It's just this great opportunity to share the crafting experience with 90 other people who are in the room just doing what they do. And I would strongly encourage you to go. You can bring as much of your stuff. If you want to bring your whole kitchen sink and everything and your machine and your tables and all that stuff, great. If you just want to bring a little bit of English paper piecing in a little bucket, that's okay too. We'll take you however you come. But the nice thing is, located in Shipshewana, if you've ever been to Shipshewana, it's a fun Amish community in northern Indiana, and lots of great shopping, lots of great food, and a fun opportunity to just fellowship with other crafters. So I would really encourage you to attend that. And then the other thing that I have is this Mystery 5.0, and we've been talking about this. This, I think, is almost a year now we've been involved with this program. It's a wonderful program that has been created by Teresa Conan, who is from Stitching Tree. It's her brainstorm along with a couple other ladies, and I'm going to tell you what, it has been such a blast. We have mystery quilts that we do on a regular basis. So right now we're rolling into what's called a mini instead of a mega. So we do a mini quilt, and it's this Saturday, January 10th. Yes, that's this Saturday, and it's on our Facebook group. This is free. It's a great way to dip your toe into a quilting experience, especially if you're new to quilting and maybe you've not done quilting before. What's wonderful is it's step by step. There's video support with it. So let's say, oh, you're busy Saturday and you can't get in. Still go join the page, because the videos and the clues and everything to make this stay on that private group. So it's M50 Mystery, always in stitches. You want to search for that group, join that group, and then all you have to do is follow it. And on Saturday, every 45 minutes or so, starting around noontime, we will drop a clue that will make a project. Now, I've already made the project. It's lovely. Jessica actually has it. She's doing the finished quilting. So you'll be able to see it at the end of the day, Saturday. For those of you who are like, well, I really want to learn, but I don't want to know a mystery. I have to know in advance. Just wait till Sunday, go back and watch it Sunday, and it's all there. So it's not a mystery, it's all done, and you can participate completely and fully, and you can choose your fabrics by seeing the finished product. Some of you have a little angst about not knowing how it's going to go together when you choose your fabrics. There's some really good directions given about how to choose your fabrics before you start putting the mystery together, but some of you don't like that. Some of you are like, I have to see the finished product to choose my fabrics. just wait till Sunday. Join the page now, but wait till Sunday and then open the page and get all the information then. So you can still participate, but you'll have all the details. So that's the M50 program. All right. I think that's all. It's classes this week. I'm just talking about classes and the fun things going on in our store. If you follow our Facebook page, please be sure to comment on there and say what you think. The other thing I would love to see you do is on our Ravelry page, not Ravelry, no, we don't have a Ravelry. Well, I think we do have a Ravelry page. I don't know. On our Pinterest page and on our Google page and on our Google Yelp page, which are social media pages, they have opportunities for you to give reviews about our shop. And I would love to hear what you think about our shop. We have so many wonderful comments, and the Bianni local quilt shop program is coming up where we give you an opportunity to make comments. And we get, 10 pages of you guys saying amazingly wonderful things about us, and it's such a blessing for us to see those. So what would help us is if you would go to Yelp and to Google and do reviews, and Facebook, and do reviews and say what your experience was in the store. I hope it was pleasant. We do our best to be pleasant and helpful whenever we can. There is a reality right now, though, that there's such a void in the crafting industry with losing the Big J. It has hurt a lot of us. And as a store, we're probably one of the bigger stores in the United States even, and it's hard for us to carry everything that you want. So we do our best. I would encourage you to ask us, and if we can do it, we will. If we can't, sometimes we may have to say, no, that's not an attainable goal. I'll give you one specifically we get calls for every single day, and that's fleece. All y'all are looking for fleece. I get it. It's a great, inexpensive project to do with the fleece and do the chide blankets. Here's the truth. I cannot buy fleece for wholesale price to be able to sell it to you for less than what they're selling it for at retail at Hobby Lobby. So I could go to Hobby Lobby, buy their fleece, bring it over here, and it would be cheaper than what I can buy. So we have a little bit of an inequity there that we're not able to give you what you want, and I hate that for you. But fleece is not something we're going to be able to carry. There's a lot of things Joann's offered. We just can't get it. We can't carry it and make it affordable for you. And that's my goal at the end of the day, is not only to be helpful and efficient in what we offer, but to give you what you want at an affordable, good quality. And at this point, that's not something we can do. So if you have an idea of something you want us to do, tell us. But when we say no, we can't, understand it's not because we dislike you, it's just because it's not available to us. But I can tell you for sure, we've got 25 employees, and their goal is to make sure your experience is amazing and outstanding and everything you could ever dream of when you walk into your local quilt store or yarn shop or sewing machine business, whatever it is. We want to make your experience the best it can be. And if we fall short of that, we apologize and want to make it right. So we look forward to working with you when you come in, and hopefully you have a great time with us. We love having you. And if you're watching this video, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and ask your friends to join watching us too, because we're going to always have great things going on here. But I will tell you, our Facebook page has really been getting a lot of action, and a lot of people are seeing some really fun stuff there. So, and our TikTok. Maggie's back. She's running our TikTok. You got to see the TikTok, man. There's some funny stuff on TikTok, and it is so worth watching. So get out there, get on the social media. Have a great new year. Welcome to 2026. We'll be here to support you. Happy stitching. Bye.